Welcome back to One on One with Aunt Aisha, behind the scenes. Yesterday evening, I did not take you along with me, but I was working on my budget. I struggle with budgeting, or I have struggled. I'm believing in victory that God is going to bring me out in this season as I learn more about money and how to be a good stewardship of what He gave me. But here are some tips for the younger people as well as for you parents that might actually help you. For you younger people, you can actually start learning about money now if you haven't already started to do so. In learning about money, investing, and banking, and just how the whole process works, you can set yourself up today so that you can have a free future when you get to be my age. When you hit your 50s, you can be set up to retire if you start saving and investing in your teens. You can actually get involved in ventures that you enjoy because you have sufficient money saved up as a teenager to get you to where you want to go when you get later on in your life. You might decide that you want to get involved in entrepreneurship. You might want to be your own business owner. Whatever you decide to do, the options are endless when you start early. And that's not to say if you start later that it's too late. But I just don't want you to feel like it's too early, because it's not. I remember looking at a video, the young man who started Spurgo. I don't even think he's out of high school. He might only have been in junior high when he started Spurgo. And he was able to retire his mother as a result. You're not too young to start. For parents, I have a lot more notes that I want to share with you. And please don't feel like I'm judging. I'm not a parent. I know that you have so many responsibilities and there's so many things that you have to be concerned about. But if there's anything that I can help, or maybe there's just a suggestion that'll pop in your head that you hadn't considered before, I do certainly hope this helps. I'm speaking today as a child of a parent who was a great parent. I don't want to make it seem like my parents weren't great or that they didn't do everything they knew to do to prepare me. But sometimes I think we either think our kids are too young, or we think they already know, or you as parents devalue how much you actually do know. And you don't realize that you can share that information with your kids and it'll benefit them on into their lives. So one thing that I wrote down that I thought would be helpful is to include your children as much as possible in discussions about finances. Now, this could be you letting them sit with you when you balance the checkbook. This could be you writing out the bills. I'm not sure what that experience is like for you now. And if it's stressful, this may add on to your stress, but it may help to include your children because many times they don't understand the decisions that you're making or why the money is being spent the way it's being spent. So when they ask for that new pair of sneakers because all the kids in school have them, or that new phone, they don't understand the pressure that that's putting on you as the parent who wants to give them everything. You want their lives to be better than yours. But you may be in a season where you can't do that. And it may be helpful just to show them what's going on and why. I remember 2 episodes of The Cosby Show where Bill was talking to Theo. And in one of the episodes, or Dr. Huxtable, what was his name? Cliff was talking to Theo. And in one of the episodes, he used Monopoly money and began to show him, based on what you have in your check, this is how much goes and has to be allocated before you even get paid to all these different people. And because he used Monopoly money, it was something that was concrete that Theo could see being allocated to these different pots. And he didn't get the lesson the first time. But when they did it again with emptying out his room and having him to go look for a job and having him to try to open a bank account and all these different things that he had to do, it started to help him to understand, even as a young person, the importance of being responsible. I think the monopoly money is helpful, even if you could use it with your check to be able to show your kids, if you're a tither, the first 10% goes to God. And then from that point, you need lights, you need this house, you need this food, all these things that have to be done so that they can better understand that the decisions that you're making are decisions for their good and for the good of the household. The other thing that you might be able to do, depending on the type of child you have and whether they're receptive, is actually allow them to provide suggestions. If their suggestions don't come across too sound, then you can have conversations to explain with them why that won't work. But if they have good suggestions, you might want to implement them and show them how you're implementing them. And if there are any benefits that come from implementing those suggestions, where possible, maybe you could reward the whole household, and not just that child, but the whole household, so that everybody could see, or so that that child or the other children can see that when one person wins in the home, it's a win for the entire family. Another thing that's helpful is to encourage your child to search for money-making ventures, depending on what age they are. I think 13, 12 when I got my first summer job. And with each summer job that I got, I actually was able to work that job throughout the school year. Whenever I got a summer job, I was always able to retain it and continue to work it through the school year. They always kept me on. So getting a job may help them to develop skills. And even if they have to have the job or maintain the job, or you decide that they should maintain the job through the school year, it may actually also teach them some time management. It may actually help them to get disciplined. My father actually took a portion of my money and he explained to me, because I never considered giving anything when I started working. But what he explained to me, you can't live anywhere for free. And so in him taking that money from me the first time, I was really angry. And if you decide to have your child work, I would even say don't feel bad if you have to at least, or if you decide to at least take a portion of the money that they earn. I know in my household, my parents did that, and it helped me to remember that we don't live anywhere for free. It helped me to be more mindful of the fact that wherever I go, I should be expecting, and I should expect to make a contribution. One other point that I did want to share is that, as I mentioned earlier, please don't assume that your children are going to learn this. And please don't assume that they already know. Some people are gifted in the areas of money, but some people have to be taught. One of the other things that I would like to suggest is that the person who is skilled in the area of finances should be encouraged to participate in helping with balancing the checkbook and helping with budgeting. Whether it is a two-parent home and one of the parents is more skilled than the other, or even if you notice that one of your children has that skill set, instead of you being at the table by yourself trying to figure it out, there's nothing wrong with having your child to be involved. In fact, I've noticed in many experiences with friends and with my own family that because it was something that was not just left for one person to do, when the other person passed away or when that person got sick, there was someone else in the household who was able to pick up the baton and move seamlessly into that position. Unfortunately, I've also witnessed experiences in households where only one person had that responsibility. And when that one person was sick or when that person passed away, the other family members had no experience in that area and they struggled to be able to continue to move forward. Now, for my family, another thing that we did, particularly when we got older, my father included my brother and I in the purchase of major items in the home. So for instance, if it was something that benefited the home family, such as like an entertainment center, then my father figured out the percentage of money that my brother and I should contribute so that it was not just a purchase that he made, but that my brother and I were invested in it as well. I can honestly say that that was, for me, something that instilled a sense of ownership. We certainly took care of those items that we invested our money in. We learned how to take care of them. We weren't frivolous in how we treated them. We didn't let friends come over and just mess with them and break them and touch them and do different things. When I moved away from home and my dad decided to upgrade his entertainment center or to make changes, because I had contributed to that purchase when I was living in the home, he actually gave the entertainment center to me when he decided to make the change. And it was something that I was able to use. He honored my investment as part owner. One of the other things, for some of you, you may be feeling like you wanted to protect your children and you want to shield them. But the one thing that I have learned, the one thing that I know just from being a child of two parents, is that your children are more aware than you think. And your children are more resilient than you think. And many times, their response to life's challenges are not going to be so much a result of what's going on as it will be your response to what's going on. For me, I learned from what my parents did, not so much from what they said. And with what they said lined up with what they did, then that was just icing on the cake. So I hope these tips help. This actually comes from the heart of someone who even today is having to do research and who is challenged in the area of being a good financial steward. I'm believing God for victory, but it was through this experience that I thought maybe if I shared some tips of things that I think might have helped me, then maybe it can help you all as you're starting on the path with your family today. Feel free to share any comments if you have any other suggestions, if any of you have questions. If this video helped, please like and share. And if you really found the content to be helpful, please also subscribe. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day. Remember, God loves you and He created you with a purpose. Bye-bye.